Hi guys, Dave in Texas here. And what you're looking at is a little Squire, right? Stratocaster that the guy wants to fix up. He likes the way it feels and the way it plays, and he wants to play better, look better. And first thing I do is replace 2 broken tuners he has on it. And what I did, I went and bought him some FENDER genuine parts. FENDER, the real deals. The new ones too, the new design ones. They're the ones that have the nubs in the back of the tuner themselves rather than screw holes. So we're going to do a little bit of drilling. Also, since this had originally the fake tuners in them, one of the press fitted, I'm going to have to open these holes up. Now what I did, guys, I went out and bought a new reamer. Okay, now normally I use what's called an AWL to open up oh gosh, other woods other than the hardened maple, because it doesn't work very well on hardened maple. It just chips the stuff, right? Instead of cutting it, it just cracks and splinters on the FENDER's maple index for some reason. I have no idea why, but it does. So I've learned that lesson the hard way, and what I do, of course, I approach these from the back side, not the front, because I need to open up the back, not the front. Get them larger in the back so these will fit. These right here, and these are the screw down types, the right ones, the good ones. But first things first, I want to go in there and clean this guitar up. It's a little bit on the dirty side, and I'm just going to reach over here and grab some warm water. Once I get it cleaned up, I'll take those trees off there so I'll work with it easier. Set those aside. Yeah, it's got a little dirt on it. Anyway, I'll set those aside. Well, maybe not, guys. Look at that. I may leave those right where they are. Those darn screws are boogered up. Oh wow, there's no thread. They're just rounded completely off inside there. And setting this up is not going to be hard because they're not tight at all. But I may have to call and tell them I need to replace those. And good thing is that they even make the trees now with that little nib. So you have to actually drill into the wood twice, put those in there so they'll hold properly. And not move around like a single screw does. And I think that was the worst design ever, is have that single screw on these guitars for that tree. So when they come up with the nib and the roller, well, that is just really good thinking. And it's like about time. Anyway, I'm trying to get this neck all cleaned up. Flip it over. Okay. Now all the parts are still there on the inside. I'm not taking any electronics out. A little 8-ball drawn on there. So next step is take my reamer, right? Go in here and open these up just enough, all right, so these will fit. Okay. You don't have to be just, you know, real deep. As you can see, I have to come back later and put some, hope you can see this, put additional holes in the top for those to fit. And what I can do, if you want me to, is go back through and cut off some toothpicks and put in here to fill in these screw bit holes. No problem. Just gotta clean that up a bit. But these are bought, these are all in line. Let me take one of these off and I'll show you how much more I've got to open these up. Doing it with a reamer is the best way to go with the FENDER headstocks. I guarantee it. And let you know, show it fits. These fit. These are all in lines for the FENDER. Never hurts to check. And you can see there's plenty of clearance for these parts to go on there. Plenty of clearance, Clarence. Close this water back up or I spill it all over the place. Go in here, open this up, and when I do it slowly and gradually. I don't just jump on and start going crazy with these cuts. I'll go in here, I'll do a few cuts, see where I am, and I don't want a real loose fit, but I don't want a so snug I can't hardly move it type of fit. I want it kind of in the middle. Uh-oh, somebody likes me. Okay, hang in there, guys, while I hang this to the phone. Okay, we're back at it again, and I'm showing you the ream job I'm doing on this. Very slowly, very carefully. I'm not putting a ton of pressure on this. It's not necessary. This brand new reamer, there's more than a sharpness on these blades to cut these holes open. And I'm almost there. I'm getting really, really close. But what I need to do is either stop blowing that sawdust on my electrical outlets or push them out of the way. And I think I'm going to push those out of the way with this set of dowels and be safe. For once, I'm going to be safe. I'm going to use some wooden dowels to mess around with electrics rather than something conductive. Okay, so we're back at it again. Okay, here we go. Anyway, it's not rocket science. It just takes time to do this and do it right, not get in a hurry and take off too much. No, we're getting closer. I may have to go all the way up on this. Pretty close to all the way up. Well, it's doing the job. Closer, closer. But, like I've told everybody, that's why this type of work is not cheap. It's just so time consuming to do these things. Fix these guitars like this. Now, some people get in here in a hurry. They'll put this on the drill press. You end up with a real sloppy work on it. That's the last thing I want to do. Oh, that's so close. Okay, hang in there, guys. Okay, well, it's getting real close to fitting. And one of the reasons you start from the back on all these guitars is that you don't want to mar up the finish or crack it. Because like I said, you're expanding the back towards the front. And what that does, that keeps you from overdoing it in the front. And you'll see it tapers. See that? So you don't really need to do any cutting on the front at all, basically, except to allow the screw mount to go in, right? That may take just a little bit of work, considering how small these holes are, but you know, we're talking really cheap press-fitted tuners on this thing to start off, you know, its life with. And what was odd about this reamer when I got it, it should have a little screw to hold the cross rod in place. But unfortunately it didn't. And it's not been drilled all the way through. It's like they changed their mind about including that little option on the guitar. But you can see, no you can't see. Now you can see we're almost there. We're really, really close. Now when I get down to it and it's freely going inside that hole, I can take something and touch those nib marks with some you know, some ink or some something that can stain. Once they touch the wood, I can mark those for the little drills I gotta do. Little drill amounts to set them proper and straighten the guitar. And that, you gotta make sure you're squared up with it and not cockeyed. As you can see, this stuff is hard as rocks, especially the older ones. Oh man, these necks are made good. And the wood over the years actually hardens. All that sap goes out. Jeez. Just gotta make sure you're still cutting. And just cutting little by little, like the way I like it. And no chips. Now there's already chips on this. And I'm sure you can see those from the camera. There's already chips in these holes, so I didn't create those. I just got to work around them. You see, that's just not right. I can't force that down in there, but we're getting close. It'll be there. It'll get there. Got plenty of reamer left on this. Plenty of depth left on the reamer. But gotta make sure you keep those channels open on the reamer, not clogged with wood dust. I think I bumped it. You still see? I can still see it. Anyway, as I was saying, I want these to fit in there snugly. I have to tap them. I have to pressure them into the wood. And it's still cutting very nicely. Okay. We there yet? Oh, we're so close. I can almost get that down. Look at that. That is almost down and in. It's going to be almost all the way up this reamer. I may have should have gotten a bigger one, but I didn't think I needed one. It would cut faster, but then again, speed is not what you're looking for. You're looking for accuracy and do this thing right. And it is sharp all the way up to the top. Trust me, it is very sharp. I guess what you're not seeing is all the wood I'm cutting is falling down the channels and out the bottom. I'm getting to a point I gotta be really careful not to go too deep. Well, it's like I said, these woods dry out as older they get. They become a little bit brittle, and I'm really concerned about cracking these things when they get to be this old. Oh gosh, that's so close, guys. That's so close. If you look down in the hole, you can see that, and I'm not sure. You can see that it actually tapers down the hole, from big to large. I'm sorry, it tapers down the hole from large to small. And it should be just enough to clear this. Let me check that real quick with one of these bushings, one of these nuts. Make sure I don't have an issue with those being going in. Now, there's plenty of room there, so no issues with that. So hang in there, guys. Well, again, we're so almost there. I'm actually looking at this and I'm touching, well, almost touching those nibs. So a couple more cuts. That's as far as you're going to go until I actually mark it and put it in there for the nibs to be drilled and cut. And we'll see. Now, like I said, you can't tell, but there's a ton of wood on the floor right now that's coming out of the hole itself, falling on the floor, down the channel of the reamer. And that's as far as she goes, guys. I'll have to line this up straight, pre-drill the holes, get those all set up, and go with the next one. So it's still nice and snug. I'll have to still open it up some more once I get those holes drilled in it, and go from there. So hang in there. Okay, we got a nice smooth introduction now. Look at that, nice smooth, properly fit. Just gotta wait for those little holes to be lined up, and what I'll do is I'll do a dry fitting on all of them. Check them with the scales and the rulers. Make sure I got, you know, the proper angle at the headstock, and then go in there and put those little screw holes in there. And I think, let's see, no, they'll still be exposed, all those two drill holes, and that's no big deal. Just fill those up with toothpicks and shave those off and make them look okay again. You know, if you wanted to restore it, I could go back and sand this all down, fill these in, and then put a stain back on it and do a clear matte finish on it with the poly, if that's what he wanted. But no, this is not that kind of guitar. He just wants it to work, which I don't blame him. He wants it to work and work right, and that's what we're here to do. So it's kind of like a journeyman's guitar, or a working man's guitar. Looks are second, and functionality is first, which you can't blame him. So hang in there. Okay, down to the next one. We just started, and this one's got a chip in it, so I gotta go a little careful with it. I don't want it to splinter on me, which, oh man, exactly what it's doing. I can't help it, I gotta get past that. So probably take a little chip off the top of that. I may have to go into some wood putty and do some touch up on that if it's really bad. Son of a gun. You can see how much, you know, larger I've got to go with these holes in order to get these things to fit. They're so much bigger because they have a much larger mechanism in them, and they're much better made, plus the fact they're screw on tops, not just press fits, which those are the cheapest made, press fits. And why they break so easy, it's not very well made. Anyway, it's cutting pretty good, so no complaints there. It's just on this type of wood, it's just a slow cut. I'm gonna keep the pressure up. Make sure I don't go too deep. When you're doing this, you keep twisting as you bring it out of the hole too. Alright, so now we're getting close on that one too. This one is perfect in its hole size. The other one's about halfway there now. It just takes time to do these. A lot of that, it's still coming out of the bottom of that shaft. Oh, that's really close. This one's going much faster. when you cut this type of holes, you don't want that neck up on a chuck. So you have to put some pressure on this. You don't want any downward pressure on it when it's bent or bent over something. Look at there, almost there already. Okay, well guys, I'm going to cut away for a while and finish up these holes and come back to it when it's time to do some drilling, so hang in there. So we're down to the last one. It takes about an hour to get this far. Maybe a little longer. Hour and a half. Well, I've got this one tuner set up in the hole the way I want it. It's lined up the way I want it. I'm going to try and see how well it works. I want to use the pressure from the nut pushing down on it to give me those marks I want. So I want to keep it straight and level. And I think that may be just enough to put a mark on there and give me an idea where I need to put those drill holes, as well as the size of those drill holes. Now I want to take it off now and take a look at the back, see how much mark I got. And yeah, if you do it this way, guys, you'll need to use the wrench to get it back off again. It's only pretty tight, but you also got to make sure those nibs are flush with the guitar. There's not a lot of bite on that nut. It's not very deep. Okay, you're gonna see it when I see it. Let's zoom in there and see if we have some kind of a mark to go by. That's what we do, right there. You can see those, right? 1, 2. Perfect. So, I'll take my caliper, I'll measure these, and find a corresponding drill bit, and I'll tape it short so that it doesn't go too deep into the wood. Sure don't want to go past the outer side of it. And I've got, I think, a bit here that may do the trick. I have to measure it though. This may be a little bit big. I'm thinking it's going to be. I don't want them wobbling in there. I want them to be snug, but not so tight I gotta bang them down in there. But when I use the wrench to tighten up, I want to pull into the holes. You know, a snug fit, but not too tight, not too loose. Kind of just perfect. And I'm gonna have to move things around, guys, to get to everything. So I got my caliper, whoopsie, and my caliper. And let's see if I can get one more measurement out of this old battery that's in there. 3:30 seconds. Alright. 3:30 seconds is the size. What size is this? This drill bit. Aha, 3:30 seconds. That's perfect fit. What I've got here on my drill bit is a kind of stop stop reminder, lumpy stuff. It's not to actually stop, it's just to kind of give me an eyeball when I should stop drilling. And of course I still have my holes set up that I can see them quite readily. So I want to come down straight into it, not put a lot of pressure onto it. make sure I remain straight. Sorry guys if I'm in the way, but I gotta start this pilot hole just where it needs to go. Right there. And the next one right there. Now, it wouldn't stop the drills if I kept pushing on it, the pressure of it, so I'm just going to just barely go in there with it, and these pilot holes are drilled, and just barely go into this. That's more than enough. Get that part in there. Same with this one. More enough on that one. Let's test it now, see how it does. Now there's the mark right there. I'll need to clean that hole out before I try it. That's perfectly lined up with the one that the pilot hole is there. Alright. Alright, there's plenty of wood still in that. Oh man, oh man, oh man. There's a lot of work to putting these on, I guarantee you. Not too many people are going to run out the store and buy a bunch of these. Because basically, it's so much easier just to put these on with screws rather than follow these nibs. But once you got them on here, they're excellent. I mean, they'll hold like forever. Well, that lined up. That's lining up. Okay, that lines up. That lines up. Well, it's working out again right. I had to re-ream these holes some out. Because once they get past the nib spot, they're not deep enough again. The route's not wide enough. Okay, so show what I'm doing, guys. Got to open up that ream hole a little bit more. Like I said, once it gets to those nib and it starts dropping down deeper into the body, well, unfortunately, it's not wide enough at that point. I don't want to force that part in there, which I could do. Yeah, so what I'm doing, guys, I'm putting this in there, this reamer back in, opening up more, so I can get a good shot at this. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm trying to get in there. So what I'm doing, guys, I'm opening up the ream hole much more so I can get that tuner in there easier. I don't want to put much pressure on it to try to pull it into the spot. The good thing is that the location of those nibs is such that if I need to make a movement with any of them, there's alignment, I can without it being seen. In other words, there won't be any excess holes. The holes you'll see is original screw holes that the old tuners left. I've got to get this done. Now my idea is get this open up such that when I just drop this part in there, it drops down in it, and that's going to tell me it's perfectly set up to accept these nibs finally, like that. A little wobbly on top, but once you get past the top part and get into the nib, that's when the tightness comes into play with this part. You have to have some kind of resistance, and not much, but you have to have some. I want to try to mark this as easy as I can. Using this socket by hand. See how I'm moving it? It's moving on me, and I don't want that to happen. I'm trying to keep it straight as best I can. Oh, what a nightmare this thing is. There's just so many different lines I've got to go by. The lines my tuners are leaving, the lines that were there originally, what they call the tan lines, you know, from the sun fading. Ah, jeez. I don't know. They look straight from this angle, so let's go from that. I can't use the wrench because I'll pull it too hard and the part will move on me. You know, cause the marks of the nibs to skid around. Don't need that at all. So let's get this off here and see if I left a good enough mark to follow. I sure hope I did. Very frustrating, guys. Very frustrating. Yeah, that first one I can see perfectly. The second one, no, I can't. I just can't see it. It's just too faint. Alright, if that's straight on there now, which it still is, that should leave a mark on there now. Cross your fingers, guys. Wow. What a pain in the butsky. Alright, did it leave a mark? Yes, it did, finally. Yay! So hang in there, guys. I have to take a little break and be back out and drill those holes. Okay, well, we're back to it again. We're going to start drilling, get these done. I definitely have a spot to drill. You can see it. I don't know if you can or not. There's my spot. Right on it. Alright. Same with that one. Perfect. Alright, well, that's according to the part. It should be lined up. Make sure it's not blocking this hole. These two holes. Bingo. I finally get one. It's perfectly lined up, all the rest. So, hey. Things are looking up, guys. It's starting to work. Oh, man. Persistence, persistence. Now all I gotta do is pull it down tight against the body and on to the last two. Okay, well, it's the same old thing again. I've got to make sure that route hole is deep enough and wide enough, because it's just not working. I got to keep going back in because I want to force that part in there. The nib holes are fine. They're deep enough. They're wide enough. They're in the right spot. Everything's, you know, set up perfectly. But the darn thing is with the shank's hole is just too thin or too tapered or something, you know. Anyway, I'll go back in there and open these up some more before I try this next one. Rather than bore y'all to death, cutting more routing holes, reaming holes. I'll cut away and come back when these are ready to put in, so hang in there. Okay, well, I've been at this a lot longer than I ever expected to be. But these are taking a lot of time. It's starting to get cold out again. I'm starting to lose the light. I remember this used to take about an hour and a half to do these with the screws, but doing these with the nibs, I think it's almost twice as long to do these things the way it feels. I don't think it is, but it sure feels like it. This thing on her tight first. Oh man. Good pins in the butt skis. Oh, I see, that darn little tree's in the way. Get that out of the way first. Tighten up my hands so I get it straightened up. Here's the problem, guys. I'm trying to get this thing straight on here. As you can see, it's cocked already. And keep it straight, get my marks. And then get this little jewel in here to find the nut and keep an eye on what I'm doing. Son, it just doesn't work. If I did this way, y'all could see it. I just can't hold it like this. I need a brace what I need. Son of a gun. That move, I gotta put it back. Just ever so slightly did that move. Alright, so I got it loose again. Going back behind it so I can find the marks on it. And hit my drill marks perfectly, if I can see them. If they're there. Guys, this is a lot of work to do. Yeah, there they are. I got one really good one and one faint one, but I can see them real easily. Alright. I don't want to go too deep on these things. I gotta get them lined up just right. That's just perfect right there. Perfect right there. Now I'll get that junk out of there. Look at all that comes out. It's amazing. Still came out. I bounced it. Okay, let's see if this will sit flat and flush now. Flat and flush. Yeah, it does. Good. Good, good, good. Well, just gotta get the rimming hole down right. Gotta get the drill holes down right. Now I just barely got enough give on these things to get them in there, so they're, you know, correct. But it's working. They're working. It's working. That should be up tight now. That is. Okay, that got it. Okay, so we got another one in tight and upright and out of sight. Oh, God. Oh, man. This is taking forever to do these. It can't be a set of fender tuners. Okay, we already know we're going to have to go deeper with the route. This might be it, guys. A little tiny. This could pull this thing in and get this thing finished. Wouldn't that be nice? Last one for the day. Now the problem is these fenders have a swooped neck headstock, and it swoops right here while I'm trying to get this thing tightened up on. That's going to be a problem. Now that's moving inside the guitar. The headstock is going up inside. You hear it moving inside of it. Getting closer to the body, like I want it to. Oh, let's see. Not yet. Gotta come back off and open up that route, that reaming hole. It's still not there. It's just still too much for it to even go up in it. Amazing. Ah, jeez. Jeez Louise. Of course, I think the biggest problem is these tuners, these nibs are just so long and big. You know, they're huge. I think if Fender were to supply a template to these, that'd help a lot too. With do-it-yourselfers, help them out a lot. If this had a template to it, I'd sure use it. Me personally, I'd use it. Now, is that on there or not? Alright, that's on there finally. Yay, guys! I have actually finished this job now. We got the last part going on. Oh, look at that. It sure is biting into that little swooped area of that headstock. This nut is. Of course, before this, it didn't have a nut. It just had a press fitting, which, you know, led to no complications. Ah, see? Bingo! And she's good. Okay, finally, guys. Okay, well, there you go. Let's take a look at her. How nice that looks. All Fender products again. Oh, sorry. I need to try to tighten up on this tree. There we go. It turns the opposite direction. Pretty nice, huh? Yes! Finished. And we get to work on the rest of the guitar later on and fix what else is wrong with it. It's got some other problems, guys. I think it's got some scratchy pots, maybe a scratchy three-way, but we'll see. We'll figure her out and get back with you. See what we do to fix it. In the meantime, guys, hang in there. We'll get right back on it sooner or later. Alright, this guitar is strung up through the back of the bridge, so I gotta get a bend on these things to get them in there and in through the saddle. There's that little groove in this thing. There it is. Now I got it right side up. Come on, baby. Give me a break. Okay, here we go. Now we got it. So, first things first, let's get it in that post. And on these, I take them about a little bit past the next tuner on the fenders. Okay. I get them straight with the guitar, and I take them about a little bit, what the heck? Oh yeah. I take them a little past the next tuner, not much. And I counter wrap them, just like this, over the top. And I keep those other strings below it. The windings are going below. And hit it with my little gun. Try to keep that down like this. And I gotta keep my finger close to it on these E's to get that first bend to go and not pull the string right back out. But see, that's about 2 wraps right there, and that way this player can, you know, drop his tune down to a, you know, drop D or whatever. Let's get this out of the way. Now again, I think I'll leave the strings on here, the ends. They are in the way, they do bug me. But his last guitar I was working on had some electronic problems. I may have to pull the strings all the way off. This one, it sounds fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it electronically. But let's just be safe than sorry and end up biting a set of strings. Got that one. Okay, now for the next set of these things. Now for the green and blacks. Okay. That green one's always that G string. And I think I've actually bought my last set of 75 sets from StewMac. As used to be, they could split those sets up. Get you so many 10s, get you so many 9s. And hardly anybody uses 11s these days on their guitars. But I don't want that many strings, 150 or 75 strings of one gauge anymore. It took a long time to get rid of all those. Not only for me to use them, but to put them on other people's guitars. So I think I'll be buying these in the smaller set groups. It is more money, but it just takes longer to go through all those other sets. That's 75 of them. But I'll ask again. I'll see if they'll do it. They may do it. Who knows? Split me a set of 9s and 10s on a 75 order. They should. I'm such a great, nice guy. Everybody loves Dave. They should. I said I got a lot more fans lately. Now I'm doing free setups than I ever have before. These guys really appreciate a free setup. And personally, I appreciate the chance to show the guitars off, because I've had a chance to really work on some great guitars since I've been doing this. And y'all been seeing them too. I mean, some really nice ones. This, that Gibson I had up, that Fender Roland, I mean, those are great guitars, you know. Nice Ibanez, nice Gibsons, nice Epiphones. Some really nice guitars have been going through here. And some of these guys, that's all they do is buy guitars, it seems. And they get some great bargains. I'm telling you, some of these guys don't pay anything for their guitars. Like one guy said he got a Les Paul Custom Epiphone for like $200. It's like, where? Some guy was getting rid of it, didn't want it. It's like, why can't I find those? And one guy has a special little pawn shop. I won't tell who, I won't tell where, but some guy's got a special little pawn shop. He knows to go there, and I think it's because there's so many bargains there. Is that it's a college town for that pawn shop. So that makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so make sure I got this thing right. Come back here, baby. Alright, go about that far up, counter pull it. Uh-oh. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. And make sure I keep this thing low. Alright, there we go. That's enough. Okay. Ooh, next two. When I finish doing this, what I'll do is check the electronics with it plugged in and playing. I don't have it tuned yet, but that's what I'll make sure it sounds right. Gotta remember to tighten up on that that jack. And I'll show you the nice little device that I found that seems to do a pretty good job. Lets me tighten up on the jack without messing up the electronics inside of it. Oh baby, you're going to be a problem, aren't you? Yep. These small ones are always fun. Of course, the only alternative you have, just lift that thing up, come back at it like this and grab it. Alright. Try to mess with it. Bring it through. Alright. Let's make sure we stay underneath these strings, or over them, or under them, something. Yeah, you're out of the way, aren't you? Come on, baby, get them away. Alright. So back and pull this one, it's tight again. It's tight. Pull it back, counter wrap it. It stays below. Come on, baby, flip over that. Over the top. Come on, that's it. It's almost there. Whoopsie. A little too tight. Gotta go into the tree. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so that's got that one done. Last one. Okay, under the saddle, into the nut. One more twist. And we're just about finished with this setup as far as the strings are concerned, until it's time to check everything again. And I think this is going to call it a day, guys. Once we get this last string on here, I'm going to shut the shop down, go get a bite to eat, watch a little TV, and relax, and call it a night. I think I'm going to go in there and watch It with my better half. That movie called It. think that's what we're doing now. Watch it. Yeah. Spook movie by what's his face? I'm such a fan. What's his face? Anyway, it's the movie It's supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be scary. You know, more than most of the scary movies out right now. It's supposed to be better than them. So we'll see. All right, let's just do a little bit by hand. All right, well, there she goes, guys. She's all strung up. I've left the whiskers on it so that any internal problems, we'll figure that out later on. And I'll be back with you later tomorrow. Okay, guys, we've got another, I think, satisfied customer. Just finished setting up and fixing, working on his little Strat there, and put some new tuners on there to help him out. Why don't you let's hear the guitar for a while, bud?
Yeah,
introduce yourself and then let's hear your guitar.
Hi, my name's Cedric. Picking up my Fender Squire. Just got it worked on. Sounds great, plays great already. Just been kind of messing around with it for a little bit. So I'll go ahead and kind of let it rip, and you guys can hear it out and see how great it is.
Oh yeah. Cool.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, dude, it feels great already. These strings are awesome as well.
Hang in there, guys. Try this. Cool. Alright, so pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, well listen, thanks very much. And guys, any questions, give us a holler. Dave in Texas. Bye.